As a proud member of the queer community, I feel strongly that LGBTQ+ people are among the smartest, most innovative creatives on the planet. Also, since most of us have spent a good portion of our lives observing cishet people and adapting our behaviors for their acceptance, we also tend to be natural performers. It's kind of hard to explain, but something about pretending to think baseball was cool for all of 5th grade because I felt like otherwise the whole universe would swallow me up makes finding a way to lighten the mood at the first family reunion after Nana dies feel like a piece of cake. Slam dunk on your dead grandma. Ooh, Major League Baseball. Is there something about the queer? Quick scroll through my Instagram Explore page tells us that no, oh God, no. And guess what? That's a good thing. It would be an overgeneralization to think there is only one type of gay guy, when data shows us that there are actually 2. According to social media and sitcom characters, while the process of coming out leads some gays to develop a sense of humor, it may cause others to develop a set of beefy pectoral muscles, along with lots of online followers who let them think that they're funny, no matter what weird or stupid things they say after they take off their shirt. And please know this, unfunny gays of Instagram, I am giving you this information from a place of love, because once again, there is no laughter to be found there, and that's why we're here to help. For weeks, I've been diligently collecting the most cringy Instagram reels from the most physically beautiful queers, who, for the purpose of this video, I've shrouded in a veil of anonymity, because I'm not here to hate on my hot siblings of the queer community, but rather give them a light reading, roasting, and toasting, as we do, to explore what goes into these videos that I involuntarily click because the cover photo contains nipples, only to make me want to throw my phone into a muddy creek, for content that consists of little more than plagiarized jokes, repetitive pranks, and lip syncs that will make your whole house stink. So double tap this post and follow along for today's Instagram Reel Realness installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other such content here on the web, and we break it down like the social media strategy of someone who doesn't have a social media strategy, to look at each individual clip and say, that should be on trending, and that should be a floppy flop posty post. And today, we're looking at the floppy flop posty posts. I don't even want to share their identities because I understand these people are trying their best to entertain us with their Instagram posts, and frankly they seem to be doing a good job because I'm constantly shocked by how unfunny, cringy, and problematic some of these posts are, while still being flooded with positive comments and followers and engagement from people who just can't stop talking about how hot, sexy, and funny they are. And I get it, everybody has their own taste when it comes to what they find funny. That's why I'm about to share my opinion on why these things aren't funny, and maybe try to help point out how some of these posts are not living up to their full potential. I'm in no way trying to send hate to other gay or LGBTQ+ people. That being said, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you also find Instagram Reels cringy AF. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week. Merch, Patreon, Now, there's a lot of nuance when it goes into the topic of external validation within the gay community. And for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be referring to gay men as either gay cis men or queer non-binary people. I'm not trying to make any assumptions about anybody's gender. I myself identify as a queer non-binary male-presenting person, and definitely associate a lot of what I do with gay male culture. So I know firsthand how important body image tends to be for at least me and apparently lots of other people. And that's signified by the high rate of body dysmorphia, eating disorders within those communities. Also, we love getting likes and comments about our beautiful bodies, because if you're liking and commenting on my beautiful body online, it means that when I go out into the world, people will be more likely to love this. And you know what doesn't help? Instagram, because the guys on there are hot. Even when they don't have a conventionally fit body, the beefy berry guys are just as fetishized within queer communities, and it can make it hard for people who don't fit into whatever body type they might be attracted to or exposed to feel like they're ever going to be what they consider attractive. But for those who have abs or chest hair, girl, you're ready for internet stardom, baby. It doesn't even matter if you're interesting or not, or if what you're doing is even looking good or not. This first pair of Instagrammers seem to be getting so many thousands of likes on their videos that they, and this is a running theme, do the same thing again and again. Which, like, do it as much as you want, that's fine, but just try to do it in private. These are public locations.
So just remember, if you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll. One more time, say it with me now.
That was actually a snake PSA from two king cobras in the Temple of Doom after Indiana Jones lit most of their family on fire. The snakes are getting organized. No, I'm just kidding, you two, but for real, have you ever stopped to wonder why so many people get the urge to light themselves on fire after first meeting you? And I'm asking honestly, because the last thing I remember was approaching that gift card wall as part of a plan to limit my Outback Steakhouse spending. Next thing I knew, I snapped back to consciousness in the middle, failing for the metaverse to finally let me go. Also, if anyone watching this feels ashamed for thinking it was kind of sexy the way the guy on the left rolled his shirt up, just remember, that's the same thing he does when he's peeing at a urinal for some reason. And suddenly, the idea of him magic miking in the same store that his mom shops for pot roast might not feel as irresistibly hot as it normally would. But trust me, people love that stop, drop, and roll thing because they've repeated the same video concept 6 or 7 different times that I found. I guess we're supposed to be impressed that they're brave enough to show us their abdominals, even when they're in a public place, such as Five Guys Burgers and Fries.
So just remember, if you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll. One more time, say it with me now.
Yep, we know. This establishment actually has all of that fire safety information on a poster, which is a lot less humiliating to look at. Also, if your parents happen across this reel on Facebook, they're gonna get suspicious of the 3 to 6 flat tires you need cash to have fixed every week. Suddenly your dance career is not looking so promising. Trust me, I've been there. At least that person in the background is showing us how a responsible DoorDash delivery driver conducts themselves. Good hustle, my friend. You're about to make one customer very happy with curly fries that aren't cold and soggy, while these two make about 1,000 likes from 1,000 horny teenagers who can't access real adult websites because they have parents who monitor their browser activity. That's what always comes to mind. Like, you have to know that most of the views from people thinking that you're super sexy on this app are coming from children who have no other way of accessing the type of content that would be stimulating to a pubescent child. So if you're okay with that, I'm okay with not hanging out with you. I know, I'm sorry, maybe I'm just jealous because they're so ripped. And yes, I am talking about that pair of black jeans that the one on the left wore for at least 6 videos in the last month. Sure, many people wear the same pair of pants multiple times per month, including me, but these ones would be so much better at conveying my brand. Distinct, distressed, with an absolutely gaping hole. Bravo, Mr. Dances with Wet Hair at Walmart, bravo. So if you haven't found a dance trend that you can repeat to the point of diminishing returns, you might try your hand at original comedy. And if you're not sure how to be funny, you could always try just making an adult-oriented joke that allows people to picture you in sexual situations. Like this hot guy and his friend who is also there.
Can I ask you a question? What is the greatest thing that ever happened to you?
Ever happened to me?
Yeah.
The day I discovered masturbation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to get so caught up in the syntax of that response, but the most amazing thing that ever happened to you was that entire day where you discovered self-pleasure. I think I get it. Had you like seen a matinee of The Gladiator starring Russell Crowe earlier in the afternoon? That was a big day for me too. I was like, I know I'm 9 years old, but one day I want that guy to choke me to death with his and drag my body behind a chariot so lions can eat me. I know that sounds weirdly specific, but it's only because a tarot card reader told me that in a past life, I was the prettiest party boy in all of ancient Rome. Oh, by the way, I have to Venmo that psychic another $3,000. Sorry if that was a lot of personal information, but it's somehow more likable for me to say shocking things about myself than it is for me to point out how these two seem like they spent a fair amount of time rehearsing that joke, yet it's still doesn't make perfect sense. They also didn't get a take where it sounds like everybody had all their teeth, but that's okay. This Instagram creator did what any hot person would do when they get more than 10 comments from strangers begging for sex. Offer exclusive content to those who are willing to pay an extra fee. You've probably heard of a certain highly lucrative fan site where influencers can post adult content. You know, the one that's achieved global popularity since the pandemic. Well, start lubing up your keyboards because now you can find this silly goose on a completely different, unestablished third-party platform with a confusing business model and zero consumer trust, where you can enjoy the spiciest list of vague benefits with undefined frequency.
Do you want a piece of me? Huh? Well, today, you finally can. Join me and a small group of followers through the link in my bio. The new platform is launching today. We can share ideas, we can chat, and finally, you can get a part of my online income for the rest of my life.
Wait, all I have to do is pay you an unknown amount of money, and then you pay me an unknown amount of money for life? This might be the most foolproof investment opportunity I've ever come across. Let me go mortgage my house to send you a check real quick. Let alone the fact that on top of that, you're giving me the exclusive opportunity to chat and share ideas, and that's it. You're spoiling us. Who wouldn't want to get in on the creative process behind content like this?
You're scaring. You're scared. It's just me.
I mean, I'm definitely paying whatever it takes to join this sketchy website so that I can fund more amazing video ideas like that. Let me tap that link in his bio before this slips through my hand. Here we go. Time to get on the online hub of my brand new religion. Ooh, 500 internal server error. Woo! He literally broke the internet. Or he already deleted his account because honestly, what is this? I can't give financial advice, but all I'll say is that anyone who doesn't go to 500 internal server error and upload a check for at least $2,000 is a dumb. We'll come right back to that, but first, let's take a meal break and celebrate sustainability with the sponsor of today's video, EVERYPLATE, who are the frequent saviors of both my stomach and my savings. Because EVERYPLATE is the best value meal kit in America, delivering fresh, quality ingredients right to my door with pre-portioned packaging and ready-to-go recipes for a much better price than some of these other meal kits out there that are trying to straight up drain all of the money from my life. Not so with EVERYPLATE. And April is Earth Month. I love embracing sustainability, which is also true with EVERYPLATE. Not only do they offset 100% of their carbon footprint delivering products to your door, the meals themselves have a 31% lower carbon footprint than supermarket meals of the same portion size. Where I live, as well as most areas of the US, you can easily recycle all of the packaging. I still get to enjoy quick and delicious meals without the price of takeout. EVERYPLATE meals are 51% cheaper than your average fast casual meal. Each full color recipe card is so easy to follow and comes together in about 30 minutes or less. And don't think that a great value means you're gonna be stuck in a cooking rut. EVERYPLATE offers 25 tasty and easy recipes to choose from every week. I can throw on my favorite YouTube channels or podcasts and just get into the zone while my dog Toast watches from the distance, drooling on the tile. So get started with EVERYPLATE for just $1.49 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering code DiRamio149. Again, that's everyplate.com with the code DiRamio149 to get meals for just $1.49. Thank you so much to EVERYPLATE for sponsoring this video. Mwah. Of course, there are plenty of other creators making big money by posting their hottest photos and videos on that more mainstream subscription site we talked about. The thing is, Instagram and TikTok are heavily moderated, so these people have to be very creative when making videos that promote these fan site subscription links. Like this next creator who has built an audience telling not safe for work hookup stories to thousands of sexually repressed or clearly underage followers. And let me tell you, it has to be worth the $12 monthly fee to hear all about this person's passionate encounters that are hot, heavily coded, and definitely not made up.
I'm in the sauna with a guy that I think is straight. Both sitting there with everything hanging out, and we started chatting a whole bunch. We were talking about some like pretty intimate things, and I ended up getting excited, like going to full attention right in front of him. I literally stood up and was like, I need to come sit by you in case somebody else walks in and sees this. And he laughed, and I showed him my hard thing.
What's your hard thing? Learning how to tell a concise and interesting story? Because it just took you like 38 seconds to explain to us that you got an erection in a sauna once. Apparently, there's a wide audience of people who are desperate, using the immature terminology of a 7th grader who's trying to impress his friends without the homeroom teacher overhearing. I get it. TikTokers can't say anything too graphic or their account will get banned. But why do they always have to act so sheepish and secretive, as though they're too shy to say the word penis in real life? They're always like, my inside the pants monster was passing the scoliosis check, we'll just say that. Like I was at a full Washington Monument, but with balls. Like, you got turned on by some guy at the gym and he maybe seemed into it. That's all you gotta say. You're adding so many extra details that they sound like the stage directions in a one-act play about why your Planet Fitness membership got canceled. And so I crossed downstage and sat beside the fellow and then gestured grandly to my skyward-facing broomstick. Oh really? Because it kind of sounds like at the very least you're embellishing real life with made-up fantasies in your head that help convey the image that you're so hot and desirable that it makes even straight men want to start douching. I'm not saying situations like this don't happen in real life, but this person has a 3-part TikTok story time for literally any situation that people ask him about, along with ongoing sagas about kind of code-named people from his past. A lot of them childhood, which to me is like, if I wanted to hear about kids sexually experimenting, I would turn myself in. Someone will comment, have you ever done it on the beach? And he'll make a video being like, funny story. One time I just got done surfing and I was randomly approached by a straight guy named Colin. He had like 30 girlfriends and a really cool car. And he was like, hey man, that was the best surfing I've ever seen. Do you want to go like build a sandcastle together? And then he thought it would be funny if like as a joke we started using our dicks as shovels. Okay. A lot of that sounds really made up, but I guess whatever gets you the brand deal with Andrew Christian. Sure enough, I'm not the only one who thinks these don't ring as true stories. Like anyone who's ever lied a lot, which I know a thing or two about. Like we've all lied and we can all kind of on some level tell when a story has the wrong amount of detail to sound true. It's either too much detail in some areas and then too little in others. So he does try to respond to that negative sentiment in the comments as well.
Not all my stories are true. I'm pretty upfront about that. I just like telling stories, but the vast majority are true, including this one that this guy just commented on. So my stories feel like unfathomable to you because they're so exciting or like just too much, I highly recommend making your life a little more exciting.
What if my life is exciting enough without making up stories in my head about being the only man that men who aren't into men want to sit in a jacuzzi with? Because you just admitted that some of your stories aren't actually true, just not any of the ones that people think are not true, because those are the truest ones of all. Not him accusing us of having boring lives if we've never spoken to a straight man in a locker room. Like I promise, people who are accusing you of making this stuff up aren't doing it because the stories are just that exciting. It's actually because they all sound more or less the same, and it's frustrating to hear how basic you are. We get it. Straight guys experimenting with straight guys growing up. Gym, workout, sauna, jacuzzi, nude beach, jacuzzi, sauna, straight guy. First of all, it sounds like a lot of hot, humid environments, and my is covered in ringworm just thinking about it.
For the first time. So I'm driving in the mountain with a bunch of straight guys. Did anybody else play a lot of like homoerotic games with their guy friends growing up? So when I was growing up, the beach that my family would always take us to was right next to one of those clothing optional beaches. So I'm hanging out at the nude beach with a couple of my gay friends. One time I was in your gym and I used the locker room and I went in the sauna. So I'm sitting in the sauna at my gym with 2 other guys, and it seemed like one of them kept checking me out. And there was another guy who came into the sauna. So I was just in the locker room at my gym and I went to go use the sauna. And he kind of sat there with like his towel open. So I'm sitting directly opposite from this straight guy in the clothing optional jacuzzi at my gym. So I'm in the locker room at my gym and I decided to use the clothing optional jacuzzi. So I just finished my workout and I decided to use the clothing optional jacuzzi at my gym. So I'm in the men's locker room at my gym and I decided to use the clothing optional jacuzzi. So my gym has a clothing optional jacuzzi in the men's locker room that I like to use after my workouts.
Oh, does it? Well, at your next workout, can you maybe double check to see if that gym has any actual exercise machines inside of it, because it kind of sounds like you might just be going to an East Hollywood bathhouse every day and doing some push-ups in the hallway. Also, I think it's normal for many queer people to go through a phase fetishizing the idea of straight people finding us attractive. I think the longer it's been since you've learned to become comfortable with yourself and your place in the queer community, the less often you have those specific thoughts pervading every story you tell. That's why the vibe of this account is giving, I felt different in high school and haven't started healing yet. And you know what, young gay of TikTok? There is no time like the present. I'm not a therapist, but if you don't join a gay kickball team named after a reference to the Golden Girl, you're gonna spend way too long telling these annoying stories about how the jacuzzi water at Workout World is always clouded over with your. If these stories are true, at least be responsible and pack a pool skimmer in your duffel bag. The hot tub filter sounds like it's been filled with rubber cement, sis. The strange way that people code adult words on TikTok has always been an ick factor for me. Some guys will call their genitals a pee-pee, and it's like, why is this Alexander in the horrible, no good, very bad day? We need to stop talking this way. But this is probably the worst one I've ever seen.
May the only tears you shed all 2023 come from gagging on Ding-a-ling. Amen.
Yay! Did everyone hear Brandon's toast? You in the back? He said that he hopes you all cry more during oral sex this year, and that you're probably going to throw up on his grandma. Turn off your noisy ventilator. My new boyfriend is giving his New Year's speech. This TikTok video, made by a user I'll be referring to as the gagging on Ding-a-ling guy, has, for me, captured all of the most cringy parts of today's social media landscape. The eye and tongue movements that are so overly rehearsed that it feels like the facial expressions a chameleon might make. The adult humor that already felt tired the last time you saw it as a Tumblr text post in 2015, all dumbed down for the TikTok algorithm using the words you would say to a toddler during toilet training. It's gross. I understand why platforms like TikTok and Instagram have to be so stringent with the words that can and cannot be said on public-facing content. After all, these are commercial websites. That means the whole ecosystem is gonna the bed if people can just express every gross, problematic thought that enters their head, because the Super Mario movie and Duolingo don't want their ads running in between videos of people's racist tirades, and adults wearing those creepy prison glasses while they rate children's swimsuits from Walmart.com. So yes, gays of Instagram Reels, you do have to censor yourselves, but just remember, it could be creepy in a whole new way if you do it in a manner that specifically uses the words your 7-year-old niece could understand. People are like, when you're doing the segs with your man and he makes you splashing water emoji, whenever he smacks your peach emoji with his pee pee poo poo gaga goo goo. See how that's moving in the wrong direction in terms of not introducing kids to adult topics? It's like you kicked Samantha from Sex and the City off of the website, but then allowed her back in using the body of Dora the Explorer. Come on, Vominos. More like I'm on all of my toes. I know it's bad, that's the whole point of what I'm saying. This normalization of baby talk is a global crisis, and it's making climate change look like affordable childcare, or some other topic I don't give a shit about. Look, I get it, I might sound really petty right now, and in general, my feelings are, let people use baby talk if they feel like it. You can wear a diaper to work and watch XXX videos where muscular Teletubbies are banging each other. You can get a baby food enema at Discovery Zone for all I care. But I think what bothers me is when people are farming for likes and comments using the same old gimmicks again and again, which for these two means pulling these poorly pre-planned pranks on one another, despite having what I would describe as the exact opposite of improvisational comedy skills.
Wearing a dress to get my boyfriend's reaction.
Why are you wearing a dress? What do you mean? Where do I put that?
Wait a minute. Yeah. Why do you have a 5-gallon thing of water? Why do you have a mustache? Why are you chewing like that? Why did you call me that?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't know that I did.
Is it just me, or have things gotten really awkward between Yogi Bear and Boo Boo since they started? Here's the formula for one of their super realistic boyfriend pranks. Taking a poop emoji on the kitchen counter to get my boyfriend's reaction prank. Opens the door.
What the hell? Why are you taking
on the counter.
At least when fake pranks were popular on YouTube, people had enough sense to offer some sort of extreme reaction. But I guess over on TikTok, where your whole personality can just be having thick biceps and a muscly people will hype up just about anything you post. Sometimes it's just the same exact staged scenario that they already posted a couple weeks ago.
I had a dream and you were cheating on me with this guy.
Babe, I had a dream that you cheated on me.
Well, I had a dream about 2 dead bodies floating in a hot tub, getting slow cooked like rabbit stew over a long holiday weekend. Please understand, that was not a threat of violence. It was a warning from the future. You both need to promise me no matter how desperate you get for content ideas, you don't resort to inventing a me and my boyfriend try to drown each other prank. But if you do, it might be funnier if you cover yourselves in Vaseline first. You can sort of just take your clothes off and say something suggestive, even if it makes no sense.
Hi, I'm the new Milkman. Do you want it in the front or the back?
You know, I don't really have a preference, just whatever side makes it more likely for you to get the job done with 1 bullet, because I've heard horror stories. Honey, come down here. The dystopian Milkman is here. He wants to know how you'd like to be executed. Come see. He's got an accent and a nipple ring. Again, I'm sorry for overanalyzing the comedy of these videos, but also I'm not sorry since that's exactly what I said I was going to do and you've been watching for a minute now. But anyway, I just can't shake the feeling that this joke would make much more sense if he were actually dressed like a milkman. So many jokes get stolen from Twitter and just made into TikToks. It's like, we all have seen that before, but we're pretending like it's an original comedy. We're pretending like those pranks are genuine, even though like I don't see why they never start their car, why they never put their keys in the ignition, why they never seem curious about the ring light and camera phone on a tripod that is facing them when they enter the room for one of these pranks. But people will still be in the comments defending it like, sometimes you just don't notice things. Yeah. But it's all said with love and joy to the queer community. I really don't personally have any negative feelings for these people, and I would not want anybody to comment these things publicly under their post, making fun of like the video itself. They get plenty of negative comments already. Like, I'm not gonna be out here policing low quality content because I guess that's actually what I do my whole life. Never mind, I'll just move on. The point is, these aren't professional writers or filmmakers. They're just people making really low effort content that people seem to enjoy. I'm not trying to ruin their good time, but I feel like, gays, we gotta try harder. We gotta try harder. Show me your hard nipples, but write a real joke at the same time. Do both, and that's when I'll love you. Anyway, it's time to take a look at our last gay Instagrammer of the day. A person that I also refer to as the milkman, but not because of what he delivers, because of what's becoming moldy inside of his navel. Woo! Great dance recital, Richard. Can you believe he asked me to bring some of my homemade lavender whipped cream for this? I almost did it too, because he sounded so excited, but I just knew it was gonna somehow end up going inside of his butt crack. Woo, Richard! Grab some of the paper towels behind you. No, but all jokes aside, there was once a time in history where queer people would have never had the confidence to fumble around with a kitchen chair and smear Ready Whip into their cleavage for the whole world to see. And I'm confident we can get back to those days if we each participate in public shamings like this. Join the cause by donating at richardswhippedcreamnipples.com. So I'm interested to see if you all agree that this is just too low quality to be the only thing that I'm getting served on Instagram. I know it's my fault because if I see a hot person, I like tap the thing and then I'm like, ugh, they suck. But I don't know how to clear my like recommended photos on Instagram. If I could start over, I would. Let me know your thoughts on the matter in the comments below, but also don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more TikTok and Instagram reel reactions from me. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications and you'll always be the voice to know when I'm pouring some sugar on my tits. Also, I've got merch and a Patreon, and you can get exclusive bonus episodes and virtual watch parties. Thank you all so much for stitching and duetting this lip sync from hell with me today. I will see you next time. Mwah.